In this video, I'm going to go over a few pot stocks. First up is SNDL. We ended the week at $1.40, up 6.87%. The day's low, 131. The day's high, $1.40. Now, to the north side from where we are takes us to 4 standard deviations and another level of resistance at 141. I will anticipate a little bit of a dip as people take their profits and they run, they lock and load. We could fall down to support and then at support see another bounce to the upside. Now, to the south side from where we are at support would take us to 139. As we go down, that turns into support. The next level of support takes us to roughly 138. The middle of the trend takes us back down to roughly 135, that is also support and another potential buy-in area. And below that, 132, 130, and 129. I am in this trade and I have not paid attention to it, but I previously bought in over here, could have sold out at resistance, didn't do it, fell back down, could have taken some profits. It went back up to fall right back down to support. The cycle repeats itself back here. This is support, a ride up to resistance, fell all the way down here to $1.31, back up to resistance. Look at that, falls back down. And on this trade that I bought, I could have gotten out here, didn't pay attention, didn't set my limits, which I should do. And in many cases, I do set it, but for whatever reason, for SNDL, I haven't done it yet. But I want to tell you about this gap to the upside that will take us to $1.44. This gap that I'm still tracking will take us to $1.48. And it looks like I have sold out and played this stock many times. Ignore the horizontal lines. Those are previous support and resistance. The pink lines are buy-in lines. All right. And I will just delete this now because that does get in the way of looking at the chart. See, I guess I did buy some at $1.49 and the stock started to tank, but that's okay. I'm in this for the big picture, the long game here. And when it falls back down to this area, I'll buy in again. RSI overextended, so watch out for that on the 5-minute time frame. The next stock I want to go over is MSOS. I did get stopped out on this on Friday. Unbeknownst to me, I did set a sell limit and it triggered. But let me give you the price targets first for Monday. I will delete this and then put it back in just a moment. But here are your price targets. To the north side, resistance takes us to 3 standard deviations and another potential take profit area at 895. And then above that at 4 standard deviations, 915. I've traded this many times for myself and for my mom. I don't see any gaps to the upside. All right, to the south side. From where we are takes us back down to support at roughly 876, the middle of the trend and the baseline where price goes through when it goes to the south side, 837. And keep in mind, these targets always change. It's a constant moving target. 797, 778, and 758 for another level of support and a potential buy-in area. Note this gap that closes to the downside at roughly 775, so I will keep my eyes on that and use it as a potential buy-in area for myself. That gap begins at 806, closes out again at roughly 775. So I sold out. I got triggered out right here at, I bought in at roughly $8. Let me get this right on the target. Okay, I sold out at 883, and that is a return of 1037, 883, yes. So I'm sure what I did is when I bought in, I knew my exit point. I typically try to get 10% and then get out. Otherwise, sometimes I feel that I get greedy and then I lose it all. But sometimes it just continues to run. But I'm not in it for the long haul because I have a lot of other ETFs and stocks that I have for the long haul. This one is just for fun for me. So that's a 10% return. I am in this still for myself at different price levels and for my mom. And again, I will be buying in this range when it tanks again, because it will tank again. But again, we're at resistance, so watch for the rug pull. We could go up a little bit more and then go right back down for another leg up down the road. So watch out for that. The RSI overextended, going down a little bit, but again, that could psych you out and then start to reverse back up after it goes down again. That's MSOS. And the last one is going to be HITI. I'm in all three of these. All right. We are at 182 to the north side. Oh, let me move that over to 182 right there. To the north side, resistance, take profit area, lock and load, 183. 188. And this previous line where we have already been, and it looks like we're headed back there again at 193. To the south side, 170. Oh, sorry, that's an old buy-in of mine. This is the middle of the trend right here, 174. 164, 159, and roughly 155. And note the earnings report. The company reported 95.27 million. The estimate, word on the street, was 94.977 million. So that made the stock, I think, run just a little bit. But again, we are at resistance. We could ride up to here again and then break down for a rug pull. So watch out for that, because look at this, the RSI already turning down. Obviously, we could go down to go back up again at some other point. This gap closed. There's a gap here that takes us down to roughly 170 again. And I forgot to show you to look left on, was it Sundial? Let me see something. Or was it MSOS? Yeah, I guess it was MSOS. Show you something. I've been tracking this one for quite some time here. So this one closed. I forgot to extend it out. So that one closed to the downside at roughly 776. And this gap that I have been tracking finally touched right there at roughly 747. And I think that was, oh, we've got a gap down here that we have not closed out. This will possibly come back to haunt us whenever we reverse to the downside. Right now, we are in a strong upward channel, but that takes us to roughly 602. And if we get down to that level, I will load the boat. All right, that is a look at Sundial, MSOS, and High Tide. Have a great trading week.